Hi, Ruth. I'm going to do your soul rebirth journey now. This one's going to be pretty unique. For those in the audience, I wouldn't know how to describe what Ruth is going through, but she's had some pretty profound spiritual experiences that have given her quite a beautiful um, view of an amazing, loving world experience, but that sort of has crumbled in order for her to see now a darker side of things, and it's been pretty crushing for her. So I really want to do everything I can to help clear that darkness out of there so you can align with the light again. You've had some really extraordinary pieces of wisdom even coming to you from other places and in very unique spiritual ways as well. So you've sent me some very beautiful pictures too. I'm just really taken by your whole story and your whole experience. I'm actually going to be working with Kryon, and we're going to go in there together. I'm not sure why, but I've been seeing, Kryon a lot lately, and it just feels right to me. And I've been talking to him all morning, and so I'm already aligned with him. And he's quite a caliber expression. His expression is very deep, and I find him the most beautiful side of the darkness, because when I see him, I see what is love that is from the darkness, and it is so beautiful. It is so impressive, it is so special, and it is so ancient, it is so unique, it is so different than anything I've ever come across. And I feel there's something special here that I can share. Healing you with Kryon just feels right to me. So, and he's here with me as well. So there's something special about this. And it feels appropriate as well. This is going to be a big job. So I'm just going to relax here, and we're just going to take it slowly, and we'll just go through one picture at a time, okay? So I will acknowledge to the audience that I've been very vulnerable energetically from this sort of ascension energy. So if I start crying a little more frequently, it's because I too am going through a lot with the ascension energy. So you just have to bear with me. It is what it is. So I was just more sensitive lately. All right. So I feel Kryon here with me. He's this sort of beautiful dark energy. I've seen him in all different forms. I've seen him as a dragon man. I've seen him as a bat. I've seen him all kinds of ways. The dark energy being has yellow eyes with black slit pupils. I see him with sharp teeth. I've seen him in all different ways, and I still love him entirely. I feel so loved and cared for by him. He's not evil. Not an element of him do I feel as he's so compassionate, so loving, so sincere, so genuine. We are just walking a dark pathway together. I'm not able to see anything. I'm only able to feel what he means to me, which is a lot. It's something about companionship and genuine love that comes and is shared between two. But this is somehow the wisdom that you need too. Something about true love that is balanced as well. This journey is dark here. So our two loves then combine to share that much more love with you, to help heal you. Everything feels like it is calming and relaxing, even for me emotionally, so I'm able to tolerate more. I see something here, but it doesn't make sense to me. It's like a screaming bird, but it's sort of in an odd way. I'm still in a dark space, but I can't comprehend. It's stalled out, and it's part of a ceiling. It's the only way I can describe it. I'm still moving forward. I don't know where I'm moving forward toward. This is where we are going here together. Kryon and I together are going here. There seems to be a doorway, and so I'm literally a round knob that I'm turning and I'm entering. There's quite a dark soot that is pouring out here. I feel overwhelmed with joy suddenly. I feel so much joy that I could come in here and share healing with you today, Ruth. You've needed this very badly. There's quite a contaminated energy, liquid water energy that is starting to go down a drain that has been in this room space. It is all going down a drain, and there's quite a thick, mucky energy around my feet. It's very gross. It's all gross, old energy, contaminated energy. Part of the reason for your life experience, your soul's quite deep, and it has to go through some lifetimes where it's got to clean out the closet, and then you hit really bad brick wall experiences like this. And part of it is the massive tidal wave of old unnecessary energy has to surface and be pushed into your face, unfortunately, and then you will find relief. You just have to keep trusting of what you did. And they're thankful that you hung tight on this journey, this experience that has been so painful and traumatizing for you. And you've hung tight, hung in there, and now relief has come for you. So they say we do hear you. Part of this is you had to endure this, unfortunately. Part of your soul had to do this. It's part of your learning, but also it had to get cleaned out, and the only way it could get cleaned out was for it to happen this way. That's the only way I can describe what this feels like to me, what this means to me. It was imperative that your soul would come here to Earth specifically to experience the beauty of all, which is quite aligned with your soul expression, is extremely profoundly beautiful, healing, loving, deep, very deep, ancient soul expression. You get an ancient soul and you get a lot of hard lifetimes too, and some of these pockets just get contaminated energy. They end up having to get pushed out eventually, and it just had to happen in this lifetime, at this time in human history, etc. It was appropriate that it would all happen in this way, and that you would get healing on this date, etc. Everything is happening in divine timing, they're saying. It's just, I'm just basically still standing in a mucky room, and there's a lot of dark energy. This liquid is draining down. Still, it's out of here, but there's just dark energy on the flooring here. Kryon and I are here together. This door opens a closet. There's some dark soot or some other gross energy in here. And that's all I can say right now. It feels like a very tiny closet. It felt like a room on the other side, but now it just feels like a very small closet, and the closet is starting to recede to such a degree, it's like a door that just enters into a wall. But that's not the truth. I'm breaking this wall down, and I demand to see what is the truth on the other side. It's quite a tidal wave of dark energy over here. I am coming through in flying colors. I'm doing energy work to transform all of this into the light. Kryon and I are blended together, so we are using energies together in order to do this transformation work. It's basically a massive space of dark energy, and it's in the air, it's in the wall, it's an infinite space of dark energy is the only way I can describe it. I'm bringing angels in here too. We were just saying it is time now. It is time for the dark energy to be cleaned up and transformed into light. And so it is happening rather easily. We are inspiring it to cling. It's like we're taking a rug of it and rolling it up. The rug now is rolled up. So let me just watch this. There's some work that's going to be done here. It's going to take a little bit of time. So I need to watch and pay attention and be actively involved. And then I'll tell you what happens, okay? Spirals of light are what they're saying. We're using spirals of light from heaven. They're creating a circle of spiraled lights in this massive space. They're putting them around in a circle. The spirals are doing this and sort of sucking in this. It's a massive energy. I mean, it's a massive living consciousness. It's been sleeping for a while in this dark. And it's interesting because this dark soot energy is going up through the spirals rather easily, and what was invisible air is turning into a solid conscious mass that's like asleep, and I'm pushing it, and it has a body now that I can see. It's kind of a light purple color, and I'm just pushing on it, and it's not waking up, basically. I'm walking on its back. Kryon and I are in oneness. I feel his body is inside of mine, and so we're two as one, and I'm just walking on this guy's back, and then I'm just seeing what's here. It's like an odd pig or something. It's massive. It's a massive animal. It's got a snout, and it's got a ring. It's quite... It's looking at me. It seems to be friendly. It seems to be like it's just been waiting here for a very long time for us to come, just waiting for us to get here. So while it waits, it's just been sleeping. The only way is what this is saying. I'm inspired to touch its tummy. I'm inspired to rub its tummy to fill it with happiness and joy. Inspired to share a certain caliber of energy. Let me focus here. It is some version of love that finds delight in. It is very honest, genuine, and pure. It's very true. We're talking about a sacred energy, and it has a sexual vibration to it. It is creation energy. It feels honored by this gift. This is wise. This animal is extremely wise. It is a consciousness that chooses to share its reflection of this way. It could be a hot guy, but instead it's just this massive pig, and it's quite ancient and quite wise, and it is in reverence of our presence, and yet also understands we were to be coming here on this day. And so it's been waiting for us, and is quite enjoying the energy we're sharing, and it's just a nice interaction, basically. He's got things he has to show me. We have work to do, he says. Because we have to bring these pictures you've shared with me. These are the pictures, Ruth, that are your truth, that are what you understand as the true world, that you relate to or want to experience a divine world that is aligned with who and what you are as an expression, what you believe in, what you came here to share all along. That's what he's saying. We have deep space out here. It's quite a massive space. In this space, there's still darkness. This is the space on the other side of this massive pig. I tell him I am ready to go where you lead me in order to help Ruth. There's a doorway he creates in this space, and we are to enter it. It has a sound like water falling. Like flowing water that is falling from a waterfall. It's totally dark on the other side of this doorway. I enter with Kryon and I go together. It's sort of, the darkness is actually alive. It's not air. It's got a consciousness. I can't actually, it's too thick to enter here. I gotta do something. It's pretty old. It's old, it needs moved. I'm creating a spiral of energy to help move it around, shift its weight, basically, help it it just needs movement badly. It's just oversized for the space. It's just filling up the whole space with dark energy that's thick and heavy. Can't even enter it. It's like entering into a body. It just can't enter into a physical body as a physical body. that's the level of what the density is. It's just taking up all this room. It's starting to have a solid body now. I'm opening the door. The door is just getting stretched. I'm just stretching the door out, so it is the size of this infinite space, so I can see who is here now. Is it somebody else now blocking the pathways? Another animal? It makes me think of a very large black jaguar It's just a black cat, a very large black cat, like a jaguar. He too has a golden ring in his nose. He's quite ancient as well. He's too been waiting for us. And he shows me that he was always here. You never have to open a door to get to me. I've always been here. He says, well, I didn't see you. Why were you hiding from me? He kind of thinks that was cute. Just... There's something about him. It's a little bit more aggressive than the pig, but also quiet. The pig was a little bit more jovial, although he didn't say much either, but there was something very welcoming about his presence, and that was the reason why I was sort of, you give your dog's stomach a scratch, like they like it, and there was something you really liked about that, but wanted to feel not like pet, but wanted to feel energy touching him, because he'd been there for a long time, and it was really welcoming to him to feel us and see us there. This guy could wait another trillion years and not be phased. It just something quite different about his sly character. I don't know about him. I'm just gonna go look into his eyes. They're yellow. He seems to want to capture me in his paw. But at the same time, I say, I just feel like you're of two faces. One face I could see is destructive, and the other face I could see is totally loving. And I really enjoy seeing you as the loving jaguar and not the jaguar that wants to harm me. And that's what I choose to be my perception of you. And now I want to enjoy petting you too, is what we're doing now. There's some harm that has come to him, he is showing me now. There's something that hurts him, and it's some sort of scar. It even has removed hair, and it's associated with his underbelly as well. He's showing it to me. He's even rolling over so I could see it. I'm climbing on top of him so I can take a look. I say, I don't want to open this. I don't want to hurt you. He's asking me if I wanted to heal him. He's welcoming the healing. It's as if something hurt him that was put inside of him that didn't belong there, and it made him sad. So I say, whatever was done is now undone, and I snap my finger. There's some sort of black ball just popped out through a membrane, and it did not cause him any pain or any harm. There's a sensation of rejoice in this, but there's other energies that are bubbling up now too, and it's acidic. It's all over his fur, his skin. He's in a lot of pain and trauma. He just wants to be at peace now. Please, let me be at peace now. So Kryon and I are now two, and we are looking into each other's eyes and then putting our hands together like this. So we are turned to the sides, and then this jaguar is here, and we are just going to channel energy in to help him. He seems to feel like there's no hope. I'm looking into Kryon's eyes, and then give me a minute to do this work with him, and we'll see what happens, okay? There's a lot of energy that is going on, and it is very intense. It seems having to do with a time warp or something. The energy we are channeling is picking up both jaguar and massive boar pig. And then they're starting to spin. They're levitating and spinning around us, and we are in the center. We are lifting up these massive forces of energy through simply choosing to share love, and that is all. And there's more to it than that, Kryon says. So I choose to continue to focus. He's altering the dynamic of the space entirely. It's not about, he's helping me to see they were just energy vibrations all along. I was seeing them as real people or real animals, but he says they were energy vibrations speaking to me about the truth of the pain Ruth feels. And so we are altering all the energy vibrations in the space through spinning them around us and the love we share between each other and then share outwardly with all the energy vibrations. We are helping to move them. And it's a massive infinite space of energy, I'm telling you. It is super massive. And so it's all spinning. The entire massive universe, infinite universe of darkness is entirely spinning right now around Kryon and I. And so I'm just here with Kryon, and we're going to continue to do this. We now are levitating. We always were levitating, he says. It's like, oh, I guess we were. So I'm just watching the spinning, and I'm choosing to feel different, a different version of energy. It just hasn't come to me yet. This whole thing is about, it just feels like a really massive old vein of wisdom that burst into the lifetime just as a geyser of darkness. And now we are able to go in and clean this up so that way we can heal that portal. And so we basically fixed the leaky pipe, but the pipe broke and shot a geyser of darkness into your world. But that had to come up and out because it was getting too much pressure or something was building up. That's the only way I can describe your life journey as a soul and why this had to happen. That's what it shows me. Too much pressure building up in a pipe. The pipe busted and the dark energy had to come out because there was just too much in there and it had to come out, and it did this to you. So there's understanding and compassion about what you've endured. We are really encouraging it to just come out. Just keep coming out of the pipes. Just all the darkness. Just come on out and spin around us. Enjoy the spinning. Enjoy the experience that Kryon and I have come here to share with you, darkness. It's really welcoming of the darkness and really welcoming of love, too. Really welcoming of happy memories. And it's odd because this darkness has feelings and it has been needing its pain to be mended. It's sort of like a sick child in a closet that's been there and neglected. And now all the pain of those emotions of it were just spewing out. Now it has to be acknowledged that it is there. And now that child wants to be nurtured and loved because the dark energy had to come out. And now this sort of part of you is able to be heard. It's interesting because I think you had indicated something about a child's part of you feels like it is disappointed that you've lost your creative, not spiritual side, and you feel there may be a soul fragment issue here too. So this is what I'm seeing right now. And it does feel like a child crying in a dark closet, and all the crying that has been taking place for whatever amount of years is now burst forth this broken pipe geyser, and now all the dark energy is spewing out. So Kryon and I are just surrounded by darkness spinning. It's so thick and in such balance that you can't even tell that it's spinning. It is just, the sensation is quite clear that it's spinning. But there's a consciousness here too. It's thick and it's getting very dense and heavy. It's not just dust, I'm telling you, it's thick liquid and it has density and it's thick and it's heavy. we are still encouraging more darkness to enter our orb of energy that is spinning around us. We are really just becoming magnets and really attracting all the darkness that we can from your spiritual atmosphere that is needed to come out and be a part of this. We are sharing beacon of love on the inside of the darkness in order to break it apart. There's some energy that is being taken here. There are angels that are coming in order to do this. There's something about a sacrifice of energy that is coming from my body in order to accomplish the work. I'm literally turning red. I'm experiencing snake energy, and there's something happening here, but I don't understand it yet. I'm just in a levitated, laying down state of being. I seem to know what to do. I'm growing out cords of energy all over the place, like veins or electrical beams of light, shooting everywhere and breaking this all apart. There's some contaminated entity in here, but I'm choosing to stay focused on the gift of healing because this is the only thing that is true. There are some other entities here, but I'm just here with Kryon and these two angels here. So I'm just going to close my eyes. I just need to focus here. We are literally in an orb. I don't know what's going on in that dark place, but we have lifted out. I'm a pure white entity of energy, and I've taken that consciousness with me in a bubble, and we have completely left that dark space, and nothing in that space has value or meaning to the truth anymore, because now you are part of the light, and we are being welcomed in through a tunnel of light. And so that is where we are going now. I'm not able to understand what that was all about. I'm not able to even go back into that dark space. I basically got you out of there. That's all I understand of it. And I can feel like I can breathe. I don't feel anything. I can't even relate to that ever having existed. It's sort of strange. I don't have a memory of it. It's sort of the way it feels. I feel somehow like the light is all around me, and there's some entities here that are welcoming us both, and that's all I can make sense of right now. I just feel tired, like sleeping. There's something about a universe just broke apart. That's what they're saying. It's just a entire universe has no relationship with your soul consciousness anymore. it had to be done. I'm telling you, I'm pretty out of it right now. I'm just gonna pause this for a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. That was pretty intense for me. I needed a break. Alright, so we're just here in the light is where we left off. So let's see what happens next. That is quite an interesting dark orb that's just sort of drifting off into the nothingness, and we're quite up high in a very high vibration. I can see it's sort of really small, and its value has no relationship with this truth. I'm talking to them about this because I really feel that that dark space needs to be filled with light. I'm just waiting for an answer. We are around some other beings here. Entities of the light. They just feel like reflections, like Jesus' energy is really beautiful, really balanced, really high caliber, unconditionally loving, old soul. It feels like I'm surrounded by several entities of this caliber. There's something odd about it. I'm seeing now waves. They're very dark, and I see this orb is now resting on top of the waves, and now it's inspired to sink into a darker space. I'm talking to Kryon about this. He says we can pick it up at any time. We just stretch our hand, and now we possess it in the palm of our hand. And he shows me how this is in healing as is. I can see now that quite a lot of dark energy has been removed from there. Said there's parts of us healing this space from the inside, and now we can heal it from the outside too. Now we can open it up to the light. So I'm saying, well, let's do it then. These other entities are here to share healing into this orb as well. This child fragment expression is smiling and is in the light right now and feels totally renewed already, like nothing ever happened. It's really strange. Some souls just instantly bounce back. Other souls are, I just want to stay in the light for a little bit longer. I just need to feel that nourishment. And that's fine. It's strange because what is the perception of time? What is an instant, you know? Sometimes an instant could be 10 minutes. It just, don't know. Sometimes it's a couple days. It has a varying truth to it. So there's work being done with this orb. It seems to be very large. It seems open. It seems like a dark calamity inside of there. I'm trying to make sense of this. We're all sharing energy with it. I'm not sure what's happening. It feels like it's distorted. It's not an orb anymore. It's turning into an energy blob. It's not a circle. It's like it's opening up its energy, and it's just so far away. The dark part of what is inside this infinite sphere is really far away. It's how it feels. But it's thick. I mean, it's very thick, it's very dense. It's very contaminating. It is all basically turned into a tube. And then the tube is like a straw, and heaven is sucking all the contents into the light of all, so it can be transformed in the light, is the truth. Even the straw itself is getting sucked in now. They're asking, how does that make me feel to see that all the darkness has entered into the light? And they say it makes me feel good. Because that was ancient, that was old energy, that was on a massive scale. And I don't just break apart a universe from somebody's spiritual atmosphere and say, okay, the job's done. No, I gotta transform that somehow. They're quite fascinated. There's an energy of fascination about what my perception is of an infinite space. they asked me if I was the size of an atom when I was in there, or if I was the size of a planet while I was in there, or how big is the infinite space. And I say, because we just talked about what is the perception of time, what is a moment, what is this? Again, space is also an illusionary thing. And so now, is it's the size of a ball in the palm of your hands, or is it the size of what we as human beings perceive as a massive universe? While I was in there, it was like being a human being in a massive universe. That is what it felt like. But they say there's potential you were just the size of an atom in a little orb sphere. But that would be also the simultaneous truth, because now we are bigger than the universe. We hold the universe in the palm of our hands. It's weird. There's 3 of these high caliber souls here, and they literally are like Jesus with 2 identical brothers. And it's like watching Jesus talking to himself with 2 other versions, and they both are almost identical, but there's somehow a very small difference between their personalities. Like the Jesus 1 starts laughing, while Jesus 2 has a different version of a smile, while Jesus 3 is doing a dance as his happy, laughter. It's something, but they're all in communication at the same time, but at different times. And they're laughing about something. They're quite excited about sharing the wisdom. And they're like 3 brothers, but they're quite almost identical, but they're not quite identical. So it's kind of crazy. I think somebody needs to make a comedy about this. Because it says Jesus is talking to Jesus, and they're laughing with each other and cracking jokes at each other, and they're almost as simultaneously all doing the same identical thing while slightly different. I don't know what to make of this, but it's really cheering me up. I'm just standing there, like, watching them, like, is this real? While they're all laughing, and Kryon is here, and then the wisdom about the orb inside. It's like, all right. Things are filling up. Things are feeling really good. Things are feeling better. Kryon asked me if I'm ready to blend with him, if I feel good about what has happened. I'm evaluating the work we have accomplished, and I'm feeling that it was a very good job that we had done, and that I'm feeling very positive about the transformation gift and the healing that heaven has provided, and the work that has been shared between Kryon and I and Jesus and his other Jesus selves. So I'm just relaxing for a minute in the white light, and then I'm going to merge with Kryon and we'll go to the next thing. I'm asking about this girl. Everything is appropriate. It feels like it is time. So I've already merged with Kryon. We seem to be on the next part of the journey. I hear a creaking door. There's a cat entering into our dark space. It seemed like the light was from behind us going into the size of a crack in a door, but now it seems to have reversed and the light is coming through the crack in the door. We are on the other side and the cat just walked in. Isn't that like a saying, what did the cat just drag in? I just thought of that, the way the language was coming out. So it's quite dark. There's only a very tiny fragment of light. Light enough to see there's a kitty cat here, the doorway. There's some calm before the storm feeling. I want to open it, but when I explore opening it, I see quite a loud bang of energy. And I can't understand where we are. It's so confusing because I can't decide which side of the door I'm on. Am I on the side with the light that is coming from behind me through the other side of the door in a tiny little fragment? Or am I on the other side of the door where light seems to be coming in, but yet I'm surrounded by darkness? The whole thing is really confusing. I feel like I'm massively confused on which side of the light I am on. Am I in the dark or am I in the light? There's something strange about this. And all there is that is true that I can see about any of this is that a cat came from one side of the doorway and is now in my space. That is where I'm at with this. Something weird about the light reflection is... I'm just inspired to just see Kryon and then to feel energy of love, and that is the only truth that matters now. So we were two, and now again we merge as one being of expression, one consciousness. So my consciousness and his consciousness blend as one. I'm just enjoying the feeling, and we are sharing this energy with this odd space. There's something about this vein of wisdom that is truth, because it wants to... it doesn't understand which side of truth it is on, or which... It's a funny room. It's basically, you walk into a funny room, and now there's stairs on the side of the wall that you can actually walk on. It's really crazy. So the only thing that is true is that there is love here, and that is me and Kryon. It is not about the cat, it is not about the light, or the direction, or which side of the door we are on, or the darkness, or the anything. There's just Kryon and I merging as one consciousness, sharing love here, and that is all. We just broke a lock on the door. That's the only way I can describe it. Something just broke. It is altering its composition. It was quite a nasty thing to begin with. It was quite a nasty entity. It just looked like a room. And the only thing that is real is Kryon and I, and the energy of love that is experienced here. It's the only thing that is real. So, I don't seem to care about the room anymore, or the entity I felt. I feel like we are in a cylinder of space, and is going up and down like this, like a pop can, but it's a bigger one. And that room is sort of dropping, so I can see it is a mirror wall, and there is the same on both sides, but one room is light and one room is dark, but there's a lock on the door that confuses the perception of where your light and your dark is actually placed at. It's a mind trick. And it feels like it is not of value anymore. And it's interesting because there's quite a massive dark entity here that seems to have us in an orb in the palm of his hand, but we still don't care. We're just enjoying the love and experience of energy shared between our two souls. Kryon says, I will show you that love, it defeats all things. Even what is this guy's idea of control. So he is asking us to... Somehow we are merged, but in this merged expression we are also two, with our hands held together, looking into each other's eyes. So I see Kryon's eyes are glowing yellow with this slit pupil. He has many different eyes. He has many different forms. I've seen him as a giant. I've seen him as a silvery man. I've seen him in all different kinds of forms, but this is the one I'm experiencing him as, and this is the one that I am looking into his eyes, and they're yellow, and I still see a very beautiful, loving, extraordinary, deep, ancient soul expression. High caliber, a very authentic, extraordinary, mind-blowing soul. This is the only way I can describe it. So I'm just doing this right now, okay? This darker entity is massive. he likes to turn us from being right side up to upside down. And there's a thought about, if I was on Antarctica, I would be upside down, but yet still feel I was right side up. So there's nothing you can do to create the illusion that I'm upside down, or that you are controlling my experience of being right side up. There's an energy we create when our hands touch and we gaze into each other's eyes, and again, it's making a spinning expression, and it is turning into a vacuum, and I am to see he was merely just energy all along, and a controlling energy, a force of control that is manipulative. And so it is not the reflection of love that Ruth chooses to feel and experience in her life. So we will suck him up into this energy, and then we can transform him again. And so we are doing this simply. He is showing me how energy travels in a spiral or circle, but it also goes in these diagonal ways, so like an X, and then an energy that's spiraling really fast in those ways, and then spiraling like this, and spiraling like this, and spiraling like this. So it's just spiraling in all these different directions really, really fast, and everything's being sucked up. This entity seems to think he's a solid force that is not a part of the other energy that is entering this sucking. So I'm just seeing a lot of energy entering into this, but he is still standing there, but Kryon and I are still gazing into each other's eyes, doing the hands, and smiling at each other, and just sharing love and truth. And that is all. There is a truth that he is being absorbed into this energy. He is not able to resist. It is time for change, Kryon says. And when change comes, now there is no choice but to enter into the sphere of change. Ruth was forced to enter into her own sphere of change, which was quite disruptive. And therefore, this entity must as well accept change as the truth. He is a part of our truth now, which is the truth that love is all that has ever mattered. And now he can experience love that we share, so he can be transformed by it. So what Kryon says. He is in our sucked up energy orb. This whole space is another one that needs to just break off from the tree. Is kind of the thing. It's got an odd reflection about it. That is, we needed to go in here, transform the vibrational reflection on a massive scale, and then let it enter into the light. But we're still focusing here. Okay. Got the yawn out there. We are just focusing our energy and developing more love, and it is making things spin a lot faster. It's sucking up more of what is no longer needed from this space and allowing it to be combined with the truth that love is all that matters. And love that is honest, love that is genuine, love that shares the light, and the feeling of joy. Not the feeling of what control provides, feeling that you are smaller against a bigger force that is trying to manipulate you and turn your world upside down. So he's telling me to be patient, and we'll just remain in this stare, because this energy is not only transforming this space into a version and reflection of pure love, you are going to feel this vibrating throughout your body as well. We're in your spiritual atmosphere. I'm just going to close my eyes for a minute. We seem to be lifting out of this in a bubble of our own and just going off into the universe to see all the things that are true and that really matter to us. Versions of true love, energy of true love that creates. So that is still spinning over there. We're just lifting it slowly out in a bubble, and it's still spinning really fast. And it doesn't, we seem to know it is being taken care of. We need to allow it to continue to do this work while he wants to show me something. He's talking about seeing with your eyes these simple joys, which simply he's just showing me the stars in the sky in the universe. Being in the universe, you see the stars in the sky from the earth, but you can see them in the universe too. You can see them from other planets. You can see stars everywhere, all around. So we are a star in a sky full of stars, enjoying all of the stars together. And this is really revitalizing. It's beautiful. The energy is really sincere, really loving. It's romantic. It's special. It's tender. It's pure. It's all the vibrations that heal our hearts and heal our lives and our experiences. And it's very slow motion. It's very quiet even. It's not ecstatic or super excited. It's just a genuine sensation of energy and love and truth. He wants to share this energy with you, Ruth. I heard karmic cycle. I heard a ding, and the chicken is done in the oven. That is what I'm shown here whilst Kryon is sharing this energy of love with you. They're not saying anything more about that. I feel hungry. I feel like I haven't eaten in a long time and I'm starving. It is time to eat now. I mean, this is done. This work is done. Eat this awesome. It's like a Thanksgiving turkey. I mean, it smells good. It looks good. I'm literally starving. I'm hungry. I want to devour the food and give thanks is the only way I can describe it. I'm starving right now looking at this. It's just part of the wisdom is this. The more of this energy is like I'm starving for this true love, this true genuine loving energy, and it's really, I'm just so hungry for it. I can't get enough of it, and I can't eat enough of it. I could eat that entire turkey and want more turkey. And the turkey is really a reflection of it is time now in your cycle of experience to regain, remerge, re-enter into this realm of the light again, because your journey wasn't meant to just be full of love and then completely contaminated with the nightmare and terror of darkness. It was always meant to return into the light, and it is now, is what they're talking about. The time is now for you to start to drink in and feel nourished by love again, to feel healed by love, to be able to trust love is real again, to feel it and see it a part of your life and all around you. Kryon is still sharing this love with you, Ruth, while I'm really hungry for turkey. Is all I can say about this. This turkey is not burning me. Even the oven, I was inspired to touch the oven and it did not burn me either. The love is not burning me or creating pain. It is real, sincere, and trustworthy. And it's delicious. And I haven't eaten it in a long time. I've been starving for this. It's how it feels. Kryon is indicating something, but I don't know what it is just yet. There's something about an intertwining snakes of energy, and they're white energy lights. And there's something so impressive, and so I'm just so hungry for the energy that they share, and it is really invigorating. They literally were in space. I mean, there's a kitchen with the turkey over here, but I'm in the space seeing stars. And there literally are two little, like, two strings. So we have two fingers, but there's one like this and one like this. It goes in the opposite way. And they're just sort of coiled around each other somehow. You get what I mean. I see this with Kundalini around the spine and stuff. It just feels, it's white light energy, and it feels really great. I feel really empowered by it. I feel really drawn to it. I feel like I want to drink this in. I feel like this is me. I feel like I relate to this. I feel like I'm bonded and blended with this truth, whatever this is, and I'm encouraged to go and blend with it. So I am. But as simultaneously, I am you, Ruth, and then you are blending with this truth. You're pretty tired. When I blend with this truth, I am invigorated with the light. When I experience you blending with this truth, I feel like really tired. Can I trust in this? Is this real? I don't know what is real anymore because I haven't been able to trust in the light. I haven't been able to feel the light in so long. I just want this to be the truth. Please tell me this is the truth. And Kryon says to me, do you trust me? And I say, yes, I trust you. And so there's something about the voice of you have to choose to trust again, and you can trust in this. We are here. We love you. We are companions. We are helping your soul through this experience. We are breathing back in the light to help you rejuvenate and heal properly in a balanced state and with freedom and healing that is separate from everything, is completely broken off and detached from your consciousness. There's something that just wants to be very harming here. And Kryon encourages me to go and see what this is about. And so I say, let's go together. And there's some odd, a man with a massive hammer, and he is just driving it down really hard, and he's part of the fabric of the darkness of space, and he's literally just driving down this hammer really hard. And so, he's like blasting it down like he's building a railroad or something. And he is strong with it too. And this hammer is very heavy. And when he picks it up and it comes down really with a lot of force. It hits things very hard. But it feels true. It feels certain. It feels honest. The work he is doing is as he was designed to do, or gifted to do, or supposed to do. Something is right about what he's doing. Even though it almost feels like a destructive thing, but it feels like he is building something through this work. It's strange because he's in the fabric of the universe. He is the size of the universe, building something in the universe through this method. I'm trying to speak to him. I'm trying to get to him, but the closer I try to get to him, he feels so much further away than he ever was before. I can't even come close to reaching him now. He's far, far, far away from here. Okay. Let me get back to this. I'm really not tired. I swear, I'm not tired at all. This energy shifts just to the yawn in me. So if something feels positive and it feels happy, it feels genuine and sincere, it feels like love to me. I feel Kryon here. I feel protected by his energy. I don't know what it is. Everything feels really beautiful and really balanced in the universe. Even with this strange man. Everything feels right. He is working on building the universe. I don't know what this is about or what this means to you, but this is part of the wisdom. This is what they're sharing thus far. I don't know what to do. There's something that I'm inspired to become aware of that it hasn't quite. I feel like I'm in the center of the universe and I feel like spinning. I feel like spinning and drawing in all of the stars and all of the creation and everything. Even this man, instead of going to him, I feel like allowing him to spin and come to me through spinning, as Kryon has shown me. And so I am in the center of the universe, and I am allowing the spinning to take place through my spinning. And it's so full of love, and it has something to do with those intertwining spirals. It's just moving me. It's moving me with love and passion and a desperate desire to transform and create and do things that are extraordinary and full of light and full of love and full of so much passion and truth and wisdom that is healing and joyful and balancing and not painful. The truth that is not the painful truth, the truth that is the healing truth, that inspires us all to feel so much more love in this world and in our lives. And for you too, Ruth, because this is your healing gift. This is your spiritual atmosphere I'm experiencing right now, and it has some very massive spaces. So, I am spinning insanely fast, and as I spin, I shoot light out of me. It's a little different than I was sharing with Kryon, or I'm just seeing it differently. Because I also felt light and love energy coming out of us that was radiating, but I didn't see it quite like this. He is helping to get the wheel spinning. He's like he's massive. It's sort of like on a boat and you push the wheel and you keep pushing it and you hear a cranking noise and something is moving or going upward like a sail or something. And so I'm spinning really fast like this, and then he is pushing this around me, which is an energy to get this universe spinning faster and faster. And so I don't know what to do next, basically. I'm waiting for Kryon to help me, but I'm just allowing this to happen. We'll see what happens next. So I just feel like I am in control of the universe now. I control the universe. I feel like I am ready to make this spin now, Kryon. I can do this. And so as I spin, I'm using this energy to be the hand that turns the wheel. And now I am paddling this whole universe and spinning the whole universe from my spin. I'm not spinning inside the universe. I'm spinning the universe with my energy. Like a massive paddle wheel in an entire universe that touches even the furthest reaches, is just going around in a really fast circle. And it's so incredible. There's a slowness to it still to get it going, but it's starting to pick up. There's something in the value of, it can't just instantly go fast. It actually has to, we have to honor that it needs inertia or something of this kind. That we can't just force the universe to suddenly be spinning out of control. It needs to experience this movement, and slowly it picks up and it gets more willpower to be moving faster and faster, and then starts going really fast. It feels right. Something is massively changing with this whole space. There's some sort of massive jellyfish that is coming out of the fabric of the darkness, and it's a blue color. And I don't know if it has a stinging sensation to it or what, but it's just floating here while I'm spinning and inspiring the universe to spin with me. I'm creating an odd, like a black hole or something. I'm creating a funnel, all right, and the energy is sort of going down the drain. You know how the tub water, it just starts spinning down the drain, and the drain just sucks it on down. I'm sort of somehow inspiring this motion, but it's creating a funnel. I need to just pay attention and see what happens next. I mean, what our perception of what is the universe is kind of odd. It's not, what is the shape of the universe? That is the question. What is the shape of the universe? Because I'm in kind of, I don't know how to describe this thing. I'm like linear, you know, I'm like we would see it on television, me spinning, me like a paddle spinning the universe. While this is happening, I'm turning into a drain that is opening like a upside down triangle that is allowing this to enter in through me, and then there's an opposing side that I don't know how this is interacting, but I'm also turning to my side too, so I can see down a little black hole even. And so I can't understand what is going on with the transition of the shapes and the movement of how a spiral and the spinning of something actually alters what is vertical to what is horizontal to what, I mean, the shape is awkward, is odd. It can be transformed into all different versions of a spiral going in different directions, even kind of coiled like a snake even. And it's strange. I don't know how to describe it. This is the best that I can do. It makes me think of putting a penny down one of those little funnel things, and it just goes around and around and around, and it starts going faster as it gets closer to the end, and then it just goes in, right? But there's something about it coming back out the other side. What is up is also down. I mean, that always keeps coming up as the truth, but what is side is also on the other side. I mean, how many directions are there in an infinite universe? Infinite directions. And how many shapes does the universe take? I mean, it can distort itself in all kinds of different ways. Then what you think is up and down is side to side, and it can look like a wormhole kind of thing too. The whole universe could look like a strange wormhole with energy funneling around inside of it and outside of it. It could be as small or as big as you want it to be. It's really strange. But Jesus is now here. Jesus and the two Jesuses. But they seem to be blending into one voice that is Jesus. And he's on the scene. He's quite lovely. Very lovely energy, just like Kryon is also very loving energy. There's a lot of very loving energies that are very high caliber that don't even have names as of yet. But he is here, and he's getting larger and larger as the spinning work is being done. He's growing beyond it. Nothing more has come about this blue jellyfish. But I'm feeling this in my gut region as sort of a universe of its own kind. It's even a galaxy. They're showing me a galaxy, a spiraling galaxy that is also in conjunction with the digestive region. I'm feeling energy and a very positive sensation of energy is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling alive. I'm feeling different. I'm feeling a completely different sensation of everything. I feel like I don't really relate to this universe anymore. It's not really my truth or my identity. I'm not really sure why I was here all along, other than to experience this special wisdom with Kryon and then all the spinning work, and then but there's some truth that this universe did needed energy spin and transformative work done on it. And that Jesus is just here, he's not saying anything, he's just growing larger in size and getting brighter. He looks like Jesus. He's got Jesus's face, beard, longer hair, white sort of garb on, getting brighter. He is quite massive. His light comes out behind him and starts looking like angelic wings. He's so bright and he's so steadfast in his energy that nothing derails this energy, period. Nothing more has come about that odd man with the hammer either. Everything is warping and altering its identity is the only thing I can make sense of, and Jesus is becoming so much larger than everything else that it can't really relate to the universe. It's just sort of out there again, just like that other space where Kryon and I were, that sucked in that other dark entity. And now I'm just sort of gravitating wherever Jesus goes, with Jesus and I are holding hands, gravitating to the next thing, I guess. It's all very strange. You're talking about, I was saying, well, aren't we going to fill some things with light? And they're talking about the universe is full of light. The universe is not as dark as you think it is, and that some versions of darkness are quite bright, just like Kryon, right? And so there's a lot of positive interaction about the darkness in this case is truly the brightest light. It always was. That is all they will say about this. That is a perception anomaly. It is a conundrum of the human mind in order to perceive the truth. You have to turn things upside down to see it from different angles. Explore it from a different perception and realize that all things were always just one infinite expression. The truth is what you choose to see it as and then believe it to be. So, it's weird, but everything has become quiet, and Jesus and I are just like balloons in space, just, unpoppable, unstoppable. Just gravitating very slowly. There's no wind out here. We just have been very slowly moving in the nothingness, which is a complete void space. It's odd because it feels like there's air here. But I can't, it's a void. It is in a massive void. But I'm somehow in space, and Jesus and I are out here. There are no stars here, and the darkness is starting to showcase a red hue to it. I just feel like there's energy here, even in the void. There's massive quantities of energy. Even energy that creates air, and planets, and stars, and solar systems, and everything. He's asking me if I know where the void is or where this exists, and I'm saying it exists within my own mind. We are the creators of the universe. The void is in all of our own hearts, minds, consciousness. How do you create a universe? You have a dream, right? Now the dream manifests and becomes truth. All dreams are full of energy, and some of those dreams can contain air and planets and star systems and galaxies and spirals and Kryons and Jesuses and all kinds of things. Humor and grief and everything is all part of the infinite mind. It's almost so still and stale out here. It is creating an odd feeling in me of almost sheer exhaustion and almost like I'm just too overwhelmed by it all, you know? And the only thing that I feel I care about is the energy of love. And that's the only thing that seems to make sense when things get too big for my human brain. I just want something that is simpler, which is the truth that is something that feels like a hug, you know, of love around me. And then it centers me and balances me. And it feels right and it feels good. And I just feel that energy of Jesus and I then becoming one consciousness, able to balance energies of sheer love, unconditional love, heavenly love, creator energy, all of that stuff. And it's really beautiful, really harmonized, and really balanced in its understanding. And it's strange because as we are one, I'm part of a really bright light in a very dark place. And the only thing you can see is a dark space that has a red hue to it, and then a really bright white light in the center of it. He's asking me if I feel the darkness is contaminating or if I feel it is life-giving. I'm saying it felt contaminating for a moment, only before I remembered it was just a void space that is full of dreams that are ready to erupt. New feelings, new dreams, new ideas, new explorations. So he's asking me again, then what is this? Is it a contaminated space or a space full of dreams? And I say it's a space full of dreams. It's definitely a space full of dreams. He says, so you see now that what was contamination, the truth is it is truly just a space full of dreams. All along it was just a space full of dreams. That entity, all of these dark spaces, everything has always been a space full of dreams. He's wanting me to inhale this truth because I keep indicating that I feel like I can breathe in here. Usually I don't feel that energy when I'm in space. I don't feel like breathing for whatever reason, but I feel like breathing right now. So I am. I'm inhaling this dream, this space full of dreams. It's making my nose itch. There's something about angel wings. Something about angel wings and flying. And I don't really care about any of this philosophical wisdom. I just feel like flying and spreading my angel wings and just going to see what is there. I'm inspired to even fly into the dark red and see the dreams that exist here with Jesus as well. And I encourage Kryon to come too, and so he's with us here as well. And so we're going here into this void space that is a dark red color. It's odd because the closer we get to it, I see again where I'd left, which is the odd funnel piece where we're gonna go into it, but yet it's sort of like, I'm trying to think of something to help make sense of the way this looks. It reminds me of water. Reminds me of a bubble underwater, and the bubble comes up, and then when it gets to the surface, it has an emergence of the air from what was beneath water into oxygen out of water. But it's an odd bubble experience, and we're it's like a pressure thing too, because air can't live, air wants to come, it's lighter than water, right? So when it comes out of the water like that, and somehow we're being pressure, we're lighter than the space or something, and somehow pressure is absorbing us into the mouth of this, and we're like an air bubble about to shoot to the other side of the void space and be a part of whatever the reality is there. And it looks like a tube, a black tube of energy that is going really fast, very small, and we're just going to go through it, and then that's all I understand of it. But I'm telling you, the way this space is like a warped siphon. Because as we go into it, there's an odd, I can see clearly, there's a hole in the darkness, and there's also sort of like a tube into a massive, what it looks like a siphon, that is rested on its side, basically. We're just going through it to the other side. I don't know how that structure exists in space, but that is what this is. This is not a black hole. This is some other anomaly of truth about the universe or space or time or something of that caliber. I would not have terms to define what this is. It alters us, our density or something. I don't know. I'm just hearing a ball going down a circle. This is all to heal you, Ruth. So we are going to see what are the dreams here. This is all part of your healing. This profound wisdom is as well in the transformation of these dark spaces. But yet there's wisdom about them and you, and you're on the other side of the truth, which is it was light all along. But part of it is the truth was it did not feel like light. It felt quite terrible, and it was quite deteriorating of my joy. But there's something how we are getting through to the other side of this truth so we can be in the space of light that is a reflection of love. Whether the light is darkness or light, it is the truth of what is the reflection of love. It's interesting because we have Kryon, who always sees a very dark entity of love. And then Jesus always sees a very bright white light entity of love. And so we're seeing, again, a balance between two different versions and expressions of love. So I'm just going to pause this for a minute. I feel like I need to take a minute to pause this out, and then we'll see what happens when I come back, okay? Okay, I'm back. Round 3 begins. All right, we are going through the little tiny hole and blurping out on the other side. Let's see what happens here. They're wanting me to focus on the spinning spaces that I've created thus far. That is what I'm looking at right now. And all of the work that I have accomplished thus far. They want me to acknowledge the love that has been shared throughout your spiritual atmosphere. Love from my soul, love from Kryon's soul, love from Jesus, love from really high vibrational planes, wanting me to see this soul fragment piece that is smiling still in heaven and finding relief and joy from what was a chaos realm. It was quite a lot more there than what I'll ever understand, but so much healing has taken place here. They're showing that you are rising above everything now. And what you have felt is sort of contained underwater. The water is now draining out, drying up, and from the darkness now we see the light, is what they're saying. They say, do you see now how you have transferred between one universe now into another? A universe that seemed filled with darkness now seems filled with light. Do you see now what is on the other side of the universe? It is the same universe. It's just a different perception of what is the truth, darkness or light. I'm saying, how then do we overcome this? Because when these experiences of darkness happens, it is quite clear that we have to have them in order to balance the soul out. But yet, this wisdom indicates that it isn't always necessary if we allow ourselves to alter our perception. And so I'm asking them to answer this question. Because what you have gone through was a complete alteration of what was pure happiness, joy, a complete balanced spiritual experience, very purely loving, then got turned upside down into sheer darkness. They're talking about human perception again of time, and time as quick, and it's really weird. They understand as a human being, we do relate to an experience of time that feels agonizing and it feels like it will never end. And they indicate that that is mere instant in an experience, a total infinite experience. But I'm saying, but that still doesn't help us. How do we get through a nightmare? Just because if it's truly just an instant doesn't make it feel like it's just an instant. And they're saying, ask Ruth when she starts to feel better, if it felt like it was just yesterday that she had felt happiness, and then it turned upside down only for it to return to the light again almost instantly. Ask Ruth what she understands of this journey. And I say, okay, I do relate to that truth, because sometimes you go down a very long pathway of a certain experience and it feels like agonizing and it's never going to go away. And no matter what you try, it just seems to just never go away and nothing seems to work. And then it doesn't matter how positive you approach it, how many different directions you try, it just nothing seems to work, you know? And then the next thing you know, you wake up and something feels different about the day. I experienced this at the beginning of 2016, like what was a very long 20-year span of time of just never ending pain and suffering of the same kind. I could not figure out how to override it, so I just chose to be happy and in balance and peace and just tried to accept what was, even if it was painful to endure. It was my own unique experience of challenge or suffering, you know? And then all of a sudden things started to change in a way that I was completely unaccustomed to, but I couldn't help but acknowledge that it was consistently different now than it had been in 2015 and all years prior. So how is it that all of a sudden it changed? And it didn't feel like it was all that long trying to get to this point that is now. These points that are now is just, this is part of the wisdom too. Because we want to make sense of why these bad things happen and why they won't go away. And you give us this wisdom that is so pure and genuine, but yet it doesn't seem to change the nightmare. And the nightmare just gets transformed into some simple equation of it is literally just a blink of an eye of an experience that is for the balance of your soul. And that then is good. That then is deserved, necessary, needed, required, requested by soul, and choice to endure, experience, and a gift to all. Can't that be the wisdom? Can't that be the truth? That's what they say. And they say, yeah, that can be the truth. That could be the wisdom. So they're showing all these spinny spaces are starting to collaborate into one expression of energy. That is a part of Ruth's journey to the point now where we get to eat the turkey. All these spinning expressions. And they're just entering into a blended orb of spinning energy. A universe taken down to the size of what we would see as an orb that could fit in the palm of your hands, just like my crystal ball. There's so much love and elevated vibration in all of this. They're showing me two different scenes. One scene is a plane of pure light up here. One is a plane of pure darkness down here where all the spinning is taking place. This is awfully familiar. I'm almost certain I've experienced a similar journey healing like this. But that's what they're showing me right now for you. And to see how you've elevated into a space that is a reflection of love and balance and peace and joy. You always were there. The soul fragment has been sitting in a cloud smiling. And all these other darker realms are just sort of vacuumed into a space of spinning and transformation of their identity and expression, cleaning up and becoming a balance that is harmonizing and trustworthy and loving and blended and reflection of the light that provides love, the light that provides chaos. I'm just inspired to go to this little girl that is with little glasses and her hair's in pigtails, and she's got her feet kicked over the cloud, and she's just sitting there, and she's just got like a little girl's sort of dress, some shoes, some old school like pantyhose style. She kind of looks like kind of nerdy or something, but really cute too, and almost in like an 80s style, like little girl's dress. I don't know. There's something really cute about it. And kind of old school, but not really old school about it. She seems very wise. She's even jumping off the cloud and walking to me suspended in a space. So there's no ground she's walking on. She could just fall off the cloud and plummet into darkness, but she doesn't. She's walking above this line of darkness. And she's meeting me eye to eye. It's weird because my head is seeing a realm of light, like right here, my eyes, and then a realm of darkness down here. She's literally walking toward my eyeballs. Literally, that's what my head is like in the space. It's really funny. She's just walking towards me on a plank, just of an invisible walkway. So I'm just here. She is meeting me eye to eye. She's encouraging me to be her size. And now we're like both little children hanging out together. I just get smaller. I'm walking on her invisible plank. And we're holding hands. And we're inspired to do something fun that has nothing to do with any of this. This is all part of what was to be and what is now part of the past, I guess you would call it. It's so strange when you talk about time. I don't know how to define what this is a reflection of, but it is not a reflection of what is attached to your conscious experience now. It is a reflection of what you have endured as a soul, but it has no deteriorating elements related to your current consciousness now. That's what this is about. And so it is all part of a past or something. My spirit guides say it is okay to call it that. Human beings would relate or understand that, and that is perfectly fine. So I will call it, this is all part of your past now, Ruth. This is all part of a journey experience your soul has been on in order to heal, find healing, and fortunately to create the healing or balance for your soul, it had to endure quite a catastrophe to get all that energy out, which attracted a lot of negative energy. And now you are able to experience healing above the darkness. It is all cleared out. I feel a lot of washing away of the wound and a lot of healing, a lot of rejoicing energy, a lot of freedom, a lot of peace of mind, a lot of relief, feelings of that kind. Like, okay, the trapdoor open and it's over with. Oh my God, thank God that's over. It's kind of the feeling like, okay, now I get why this happened, and I do relate to the importance that it was important that this had happened, and I did it, I made it, and it's okay now. I'm ready to walk again the pathway of light that I cherished and I adored and I felt so loved by and so balanced with. and I got lost in there somehow, but it was always meant to be this way because it had to be time for that to clear out. It just got to be the one to experience it in this lifetime. So I'm just walking with you, and we're sisters, kind of like the feeling is like best friends, or such best friends as these little girls were, like sisters, kind of holding hands, walking back to the cloud together. Not even acknowledging any of the other anything else, just this heavenly space that we were walking back towards. And we're just happy. I'm wearing like a yellow dress and some of this like thicker pantyhose with the little shoes. And you're just wearing this sort of like a maroon colored sweater with a blue sort of type of skirt with some white thicker pantyhose or cottony and some black shoes. You have glasses, you have pigtails, your hair isn't perfectly into the pigtails, so there's some wavy strands there, and we're just walking holding hands still, and we're enjoying the light, and we're enjoying the freedom, and we're enjoying each other's company, and we just feel happy right now. We feel very happy right now. We feel like skipping even. We're skipping into a new realm, a realm that is really beautiful. It's an earth scene. But it's not a wild jungle or anything. It's quite a prairie of space, and there's a little pathway that we are skipping on. There's just grasses growing here. And they're not growing out of control. They're contained. They're not wild grasses. Everything feels really balanced. The sun is shining. We're just enjoying the nice day. There is a strange dark man trying to rip our scene apart. He looks really gross. He has his fingers turn into points, and they're sharp. He is covered in a dark tar of energy. He has a very long chin, and his head is quite odd. He has no hair to his body. He's covered in a dark liquid. He says it had strange teeth. I'm looking at him, and I am experiencing sharing love with him. I'm welcoming him to share. He's come here for a reason, so I'm here. I'm choosing to see him, acknowledge him, and then share love with him. It was not kind of him to rip that beautiful scene. We were having a good time. There's something odd about this place he's in. I can hear what are like an odd machine. Like you could open up your car hood and there's things moving in there, but it's on a bigger scale because there's things rotating and moving, and I hear movement of mechanical parts, and it's like I'm in a room. There's an underground feeling to it. It's on a massive scale, like it could be moving a large boat or something, old school style, an engine room or something. There's something with heat in here, something burning in here. Because I can see some glowing coals. I tried to touch him, but there was not a good reaction with that, so I'm just touching him in different ways with loving energy without actually physically touching him. He's trying to disappear, but he's still here at the same time. This place has a much thicker energy than it appears. It's all invisible, but quite dense still. So what is looking at the air in the room actually has a density, and you could touch it and feel it. Although it's completely clear, and you wouldn't know it was actually there. I'm putting water in the room and filling the space with lots of water to wash it out. He's not moving, he is not reacting negatively towards me, other than he ripped the picture of us and now is showing me this space, and we're just in the space, and I'm filling it with water right now. I'm choosing to feel him so thrilled and so happy to see me. I'm choosing to allow that to be his conscious reaction towards me, and I'm sharing love through that vein of truth into him. And I am embracing him with love now to help him feel even more love in his expression. It's odd because I see his consciousness has more meaning to me than that. He is not Kryon, but yet I'm choosing to see him as Kryon in order to create a reaction that is truly loving, in order to transform him into an expression of love that doesn't want to rip things, that wants to heal things instead of harm things. So I'm just focusing here. I'm seeing him as Kryon now. He's saying, I'm not Kryon. And I'm saying, you are love. I'm exploring his identity and his reactions and his vibrations. So let me just focus. I'm still choosing to see him as Kryon, and then choosing to feel that loving connection that is natural. When I see Kryon, I feel very happy to see him. Like a long-lost friend. He means a lot to me. He means a lot to everybody. A lot of people feel that way about Kryon. There's a reason why. He's an extraordinary old soul, very loving entity. He's like a Jesus caliber, or some Buddha or something. He's of a very high caliber. And a very loving identity of that kind that we really relate to, and we're happy to see and experience and feel that energy. It makes us feel good inside. So this man is choosing to create tormenting energies in my eyes, basically. But I'm just describing, but I don't want to. I mean, I can just let him go crazy if I want to, but I just want to focus on transforming him right now, and that's all that's going to matter in this, so I'm just going to focus. I don't know, this seems to be part of the wisdom. He's pulling my eyeballs out. I'm literally like a doll, and then he's pulling my eyeballs out. There's blood spewing out of the holes that are in my eyes now. I'm hanging on his wall. He likes to use knives to torment me. He stabs them into me. He likes to rip me apart. He hates me. He is doing painful things to me. He takes his hand and he bashes it down upon my chest. I'm smaller than he is. He's breaking me. These are all the responses of what is like a child being tormented by this man. He's strangling me. He's really destructive. It's almost like an odd past life where I'll try my best to describe this. They're not saying that this is reflection of what is like a child being abused very badly by a man who is in an engine room. And he is quite destructive, and he's quite disgusting, and he's very demonic in what he's doing. And it would be quite worse in real life than how it is coming through me. But this is it. Literally like ripping intestines out of body, taking knives. I mean, the body is dead, and he is still energetically tormenting the soul, who was released from the body but cannot release properly because he will not stop being demented with the body. That the energy is still intertwined with the soul. I don't get it. But I feel like the soul is free from the torment of the experience, though. But somehow it didn't get to move on quite right. nullified. I mean, it doesn't have an energy spark to it. The soul doesn't have an energy spark to it. It's just sort of repeating what had happened, like it is holding itself in a dark corner, and this man is still here. I mean, the guy literally, I don't experience that this was a very long and agonizing process before death took place. It felt like it happened rather quickly. But what is gross is that he is still doing gross things to a dead body. And he's delighting in it. He really likes it's just gross stuff. These are souls that become demons. They become ill. They literally become sick. And it's gross to us who don't relate to that behavior, but to them makes sense because that is their version of love. That is what they delight in, but they themselves have an odd contamination, and some of them actually acknowledge there's something not right about them, but they can't control it. And they don't have, who are they going to go and talk to for help? Hey, I got this sort of sick, twisted need to kill people and then sort of dance around in their dead body parts. It really makes me feel good inside. I know this is wrong, but I can't control it. Who are they going to talk to? You go talk to anybody? Yeah, that freak is going into jail right away, or we're just going to put a bullet in his head. You know, there's a need for us to see the energetic truth behind everything and actually not be judgmental. I mean, I know that sounds really messed up, but you can't be judgmental. It is a soul enduring an experience, and this soul has been kept away from the light for a while. So I had to share the wisdom. It wasn't going to let me not. That's part of this reality of where this little girl came from. There's a lot of relief, and it's sort of relieving. This is relieving. I don't know how to describe it, but I feel relieved. He feels relief. He feels relieved to be able to share the truth. And there's just the whole room, even. That dense energy, it's not, everything feels a lot more natural and not overwhelming, gross, destructive. It feels balanced. It feels purified. It feels a lot better to me. It feels like joy is entering into this space. It feels like his soul can find relief now. I mean, souls that are immaculate even can transform into demons and do sick stuff like this, only to find a way, one way or another, to transform in the light and become immaculate again. And even more immaculate because of the divine experience. This isn't fun for anybody. But there is still, unfortunately, love and beauty even to that chaos. I wouldn't be able to do this work unless I could see this truth is still a reflection of the divine mother and father of all, and that there is love in everything. So, I'm asking if it is okay, can I lift the expression? Everything just feels so much better. Like a really gross feeling in my stomach is not there. There's a pause out right now, and nothing is changing in the scene. It just feels better. It's the only way I can describe it. It's odd because he would look at her as though she was a doll without a life force. So he didn't relate that it was the terror or the nightmare because she wasn't real. That's how he was looking at her. So he could behave this way because he couldn't see her as being real. He wants me to put the eyes back in. He wants me to put her back together again so he can see her as a real human being. Because he was not able to see her as a real person. He seemed to be confused in his perception of that she was just a child with a heart and of love. He's starting to find joy in seeing the truth. I'm putting her so she still looks like a doll hanging on a wall now, but all of her parts, they're there. She's fine. I'm taking her off the hook. I'm setting her on the chair, and I'm allowing her to come to life. She seems quite exhausted. She wants her mother. She's crying. She looks like a real person now. He's demented. He's still trying. He's having a hard time. He really wants to correct this. He's trying very hard to. In real life, he had a bald head, no hair. He had some weird thing, like he couldn't deal with having hair on his head. He was a weird person. He didn't mean it. He's kind of like he has a learning disability as well. There's something about it, almost was like he was quite abused as a child, and it really messed him up. So he couldn't see the life force, and specifically this girl is what he saw. He couldn't control his behavior. He couldn't get it right. I mean, there's something oddly about Backhill's kind of behavior to him as sort of a learning disability kind of thing, but he was quite abused. And then he grew up, he literally was abused in a very sick and twisted way. So abused that he couldn't behave correctly, and he couldn't learn right, and he couldn't understand love properly. His soul was completely demonized through that experience of being raised by parents who were also demonized. I mean, demons beget demons, beget demons, beget demons. So now you have these nightmares. He is sorry. He's saying in this way, he's quite a learning disability style, that he's trying to tell you in an odd stuttery way that I'm sorry. He's very sorry. He's trying to make it right. He really wants to make it right. I'm telling you, he didn't mean. This sounds really messed up. I get it, but he really didn't want that to be his truth. He couldn't control his behavior. But there's something about his soul desperately needs to have a voice, and he's quite sincere. Even so much as able to look into her eyes now and see her as a real human being, and to see that she's actually crying real tears, and that he's sorry, and it's starting to calm quite a lot. And that the soul connection can be rebalanced, because it wasn't right. It got totally not right. I'm telling you, this could even be a really meaningful soulmate. It sounds really messed up, but even soulmates can be derailed through incarnation experiences, and now you have a soulmate who they become demonized, basically. But they can return into the light, just like this guy is. And I'm telling you, there's quite a lot of relief. And both of them are ready to hold each other's hand and go and they're forgiving each other. There's a real honest and genuine forgiveness of each other. There was real soulmate connection between the two. It was quite genuine. Because she sees him now for who he is as a soul that she loves and cares about, and he is seeing her now for who she is as a soul that he truly loves and cares about. This was not how he wanted his behavior to be. And so there's so much inspiration in them it's done now, and even the machine, this engine room thing is stopping. It's like the light is turning off, or it isn't the reflection. There's the connection that was an experience that we shared with each other, and it is part of the healing now that is both of our pasts, is They're quite in an experience of balance and harmony and happiness with each other. They feel really light, walking into a tunnel of heaven right now together. He has kind of a farmer garb on, like overalls. And she's just a young country girl. As she has a blondish brown hair. She's wearing kind of a yellow checkered dress. She's not having any pantyhose on or anything, just little shoes. It just feels like a country girl or something. This could have been like in the 40s or so. Because it seems recent. He has an Americanized way about him. Just the way his behavior was. Felt like America somewhere. And it's warmer in that location, so maybe southerly. So, that was quite a good thing that just happened. All I see is an angel of light now. They just entered into the light and that's it. And all I see is light everywhere, and the only thing that I relate to is an angel that is actually in an orb sphere gravitating towards me. The wings are kind of out of the orb sphere. I don't know why, but I'm hugging the angel and entering into the angel's light expression and finding healing in that experience. But I also feel like this is a symbol of who and what you are. Your truth is that you are an angel of light. That is the only thing that is left to say about this. They aren't letting me say anything else. Everything's just quiet. That's all. I see what is Kryon just sort of taking all the pictures and then sort of like a big page that he just kind of balled up and is showing that all that is left is this void space and it is ready for your creative dreams. He is smiling and I'm telling you, he's a dark reflection. Every time I see him, he's some version of a darker reflection. But he's so loving. He's so pure. He's so extraordinary. And he's just smiling and happy is all. I just see Kryon smiling and happy about everything that has been shared for you, happy about your soul journey, happy to get you to this point where you are ready for totally new dreams, totally new soul journey, totally new experiences, complete rebirth of your expression, letting everything be a part of this sort of Akashic record style history of who and what you are. And now you get to decide what you want to experience next. So he's welcoming you to start dreaming again and really fill the void space with air and planets and solar systems or whatever you want. Whatever you want it to be a reflection of is now your truth and is sort of divine light and everything, and is very beautiful. It is a blank canvas. You get to do whatever you want with it. It's kind of interesting because their blank canvases always show up as a black void space. And so you get to do whatever you want with the energy. It's not like a white page. You color on it. It's black. You even get to color in white if you want to. I don't know. It was weird. You get it to be whatever you want it to be. So, Ruth, that is the end of your soul rebirth journey. I'll be curious to see how you're feeling as the days pass. It's quite an extraordinary experience, especially when I get to do it with Kryon or see Jesus in there, get to learn things about the infinite universe and see from different angles the truth of life experiences and why things happen the way they do, and just wisdom to help you grow beyond it. So So that is all I have to share for this video. Thank you, Ruth, for the experience and for your willingness to share this openly on YouTube for others to learn from and experience. And so for everybody in the audience, if you'd like to experience a soul rebirth journey with me, you can do so by visiting my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching.